Into effect in July. It is the strictest bathroom ban in the nation, subjecting people to time behind bars if they knowingly enter a bathroom, a locker room, or a changing room that does not correspond with their sex assigned at birth. So violators could be charged with misdemeanors or a potential sentence in jail for the first offense, all the way up to a felony with 5 years of prison time for the second offense. The plaintiffs say the law forces them to either stay at home, risk harassment, assault, or arrest when using public restrooms. Supporters of the law say that it's needed to protect women and children. This is just dropped in the newsroom. This will make headlines for the next several months. We'll follow it for you as it develops.
Morgan Ashley, bringing you the content that connects our communities. You're watching NonStop Local Pulse Prime.
I know that the suspect is a student here, so outside of that, I don't know.
Tonight, a high school stabbing suspect is in police custody after reportedly injuring 5 people at a Tacoma high school today. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Heidi Miley, stepping in for Morgan. 4 students, a security guard, and the suspect were all injured at Foss High School just after 1:30 this afternoon. The 5 victims were either stabbed or cut. Medics took them to the hospital. 4 were in critical condition at the time. The suspect was also cut in this, and then at a later check, all were stable. Police are investigating, but still aren't saying what led up to the stabbing or what the motive could be. To a big story we're tracking. A Thurston County Superior Court judge is partially blocking Washington State's new law enforcement standards bill the day before it would go into effect. Sheriffs in Spokane, Pend Oreille, Stevens, and Ferry counties filed suit, centering around concerns about that law taking power away from voters, they say. The judge's preliminary decision here blocks the legislature's changes to new standards for county sheriffs and police chiefs and the penalty of being removed if they fail to meet those new standards.
It's a temporary injunction. There will be far more legal processes and challenges from the state's side and perspective, and we will continue through this process of making our arguments about the entirety and all of the constitutional issues in that legislation going forward.
Biggest grievances surround the required 5 years uninterrupted service and continued training. State audit found 14% of new officers completed their continuing training. 16% of veteran officers did so. Hey, let's take a live look over downtown Spokane. A nice warm day out there. And there's a lot of activity coming here as a few folks are in town for Bloomsday. Tori Smith in our weather center. I was out and about. I got to check out the trade show getting ready, and there were people all around the streets, and I'm sure they're here for Bloomsday.
And Heidi, wasn't it warm outside?
Super warm. Just wore no sleeves.
I know. That was the trend for today. Temperatures are still nice and toasty outside. Some areas into the 60s, Tri-Cities, Yakima into the 70s as of right now. We're seeing 63 for Spokane, 57 for Coeur d'Alene. We're seeing 55 in Tri-Cities and 62 towards Yakima. Some areas got up to 80 degrees for today. That's primarily the Columbia Basin. We have clear skies for this evening. That trend will carry into your Friday. We're expecting temperatures into the mid-70s by about 5 p.m. for your Friday. If you're towards Yakima, Tri-Cities, already topping out into the mid-80s. As we head through this weekend, temperatures are going to start to warm up. We have a warming trend that continues to develop. For Bloomsday, you're sitting at 79 degrees, mostly sunny skies, and going to be a beautiful sunny day. Heidi, back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Tori. Across the Northwest tonight, public health officials in Benton and Franklin counties are offering a new roadmap to try to keep everybody healthy. NonStop Local's Brendan Jin spoke to the health district about how this new roadmap shapes priorities for future years.
The ultimate goal of the CHIP is just to make people's lives better.
The Community Health Improvement Plan, also known as CHIP, is a 3-year game plan for how the Benton Franklin Health District works to improve health strategies.
We start by assessing needs in the community by using data and then talking to people who live here. And that's part of the process. And then we use that information to funnel into bringing people together and then identifying what we're going to do about those needs that we just identified.
The health district releasing a new plan covering 2026 through 2028. Sarah Baumgardner says the new plan continues to focus on housing and access to health care while adding priorities on food insecurity, safe drinking water, and mental health.
We have a suicide prevention work group that's working to identify solutions, and then we also are going to be starting a support group for parents. We have groups for moms, but we found specifically a need for groups to support fathers, and so we're going to be starting in partnership with some other folks.
The plan is shaped by local data and community voices.
Through that assessment process where we're talking to people, we do a lot of listening sessions with community members. We talk with people that work at various nonprofits and other agencies, government leaders, other folks, to really listen to the community as much as possible.
Each priority includes specific goals to help drive change. Baumgardner says she'll be tracking progress to keep the work on target.
We see that kids do best when they learn best when they have safe places to live. Businesses thrive when their employees and customers are healthy, and our ultimate goal is just to make Benton Franklin a better place for everyone to live, because that's a community where people are healthy.
In Kennewick, Brendan Ginn, NonStop Local.
And the district encourages you to come to meetings, share ideas, and tell others about the resources. NonStopLocal.com has more on that plan. All right, Central Valley schools are changing boundaries, and this will send some 100 students to a different school. The district is trying to stabilize enrollment and trying to keep class sizes more the same across Spokane Valley. Principal Scott Quintel says that 30 students from Opportunity will transfer to McDonald Elementary next year, but also that these changing boundaries don't erase school choice.
The district is allowing students, if there is room in their original school, to stay there as a grandfathered clause. And so like, oh, we're in 5th grade, is it okay if we just stay? Yes, absolutely, we have room to do that.
Quintel expects to meet new students face-to-face as early as next week. And additionally here, the district will not give busing to those students who do not shift schools when the boundaries change. Hey, before you know it, tens of thousands will flood Spokane on Sunday for the annual tradition of Bloomsday. AJ Howell is here to give us a first-hand look. And it's pretty exciting, AJ, because you're covering the elite runners.
Yes, it's so much fun to see all that talent right here in Spokane. For the past 50 years on the first Sunday of May, we can always count on runners lining the streets of Spokane. But this year, there are some external circumstances that might affect those elite runners. Of course, people from all over the world participate in both the men's and women's elite races and the wheelchair division, open division as well. But prices for everything are going up, and that has caused a giant headache for Bloomsday's elite athlete coordinator, who says this field will not be like any other for a variety of reasons.
If I had to use a word for this year, it's pivot. It has been the most active and changing field I've ever had. In my time doing this, we have had a lot of issues with athletes arriving internationally, both from a visa standpoint and from a cost of flights issue.
Wow, and this is such a well-known race. I'm glad we're still going to see some coverage from you.
Absolutely. Of course, we'll be carrying the elite races live, and who knows, it sounds like it could be anybody's game with the changing athletes in this. Wow. So we'll see.
Okay, very exciting year. Thank you, AJ. Exactly. Yeah, and also with this, the Bloomsday Trade Show kicks off tomorrow, Friday morning, ahead of Sunday's race. Today, I got a chance to stop by and tour all the fun. Of course, you can get shoes at the Spokane Convention Center. Vendors are getting ready to serve some 40,000 visitors, but you'll find sunglasses, backpacks, some crazy shorts with funny cartoons on them, and also the latest technology in massage and pain relief. Now, you do not have to be a runner to enjoy all the fun.
It's for the entire community. So the Bloomsday Trade Show is open to the public, and it's a lot of fun whether you've registered or not. We'd certainly encourage you to. It's a great year to do that. But if you're just coming by to get some gear and hang out, even if you're not running Bloomsday yourself, it's a great time to get some good deals.
You also, along with looking at your shoes, you're going to try out a lot of coffee and even grilled cheese and donuts. The show is open between 11:30 and 7 tomorrow, and then 9 to 5 on Saturday. Well, still to come here tonight on NonStop Local News, Pulse Prime. A routine call for some Ohio first responders turns into something explosive. What led up to a home blowing up in your national headlines?
And I'm tracking the sunshine in your future for the inland Northwest, along with clearing skies and warmer temperatures through this weekend. We'll have your full forecast coming up soon.
Content connecting community. You're watching The Pulse.
I'm Bradley Warren. This is The Pulse. President Donald Trump has signed a bill that will fund the Department of Homeland Security. The signing comes shortly after Congress made a voice vote to reopen key parts of the department, like the TSA. I spoke with Congressman Michael Baumgartner's office. They tell me he voted in support. The bill does not provide funds for ICE, something Democrats pushed for repeatedly. House GOP leaders, they were under pressure to resolve the shutdown before leaving for a 10-plus day recess.
We held the Homeland bill, the underlying funding bill, because we had to ensure that they could not isolate and eliminate those two critical agencies. We are getting those done now.
Yeah, so the Department of Homeland Security has gone unfunded for 75 days, hearing from the Speaker of the House right there. Back at home, a woman accused of killing her ex-boyfriend in his meat home will be given more time to prepare for trial. Prosecutors say Cynthia Khalil shot and stabbed Justin Daniel after breaking into his home in April of 2024 in the middle of the night. One of his children were home at the time, and the couple had just ended a custody dispute that awarded him primary custody. The case has already seen multiple delays and was supposed to go before a jury this week. Daniel's family tells NonStop Local they are devastated by these setbacks, calling him a devoted father that loved his daughters more than anything. Today, the judge ruled that the defense must have their case in order by the 18th. Thanks for being with us. I'm Bradley Warren. I'll see you later.
Caught on camera tonight, a house explosion in Ohio. The side of a home blew out and caused a fire. First responders were called out to that area after people called 911, giving reports of a ruptured gas line there. I want you to keep your eyes on the screen because you can see the firefighters and police actually losing their footing, actually falling down after that blast shook the ground. The homeowners were not inside at the time, but their pets were. Neighbors had to be evacuated out of their nearby homes, but officers then gave most of them the all clear to go back home a short time later. Wow, some amazing video. Also across America tonight, the man believed accused of trying to assassinate President Trump during the White House Correspondents' Dinner was back in court. Prosecutors asked Washington, D.C. to hold Cole Thomas Allen in detention. Prosecutors are also releasing some new video and say that Allen was planning this attack meticulously. On the day of the dinner, agents say that Allen left his room multiple times and repeatedly searched for the president's schedule on his phone. Shortly before storming that checkpoint outside the ballroom, Allen reportedly took a photo of himself with guns and knives strapped to his body.
He made reservations earlier in the month. He accumulated the weapons. There was a lot of planning and a lot of thought about this.
Federal agents say an officer fired at Allen at least 5 times when Allen rushed that checkpoint. None of the bullets hit him. Allen reportedly shot off 1 round before the Secret Service took him down safely. In southern Nevada, temperatures are climbing as summer approaches. Las Vegas leaders are talking about how to reduce impacts on community members. They ran a simulator on what bus riders and transit riders experience on very hot days. Southern Nevada is to spend some $10 million a year on things like new shades across 3,700 transit bus stops.
We need to keep our public and our transit riders safe. We do know that shade is the most important thing to cooling down the street. So that's new transit shelters and that's street trees.
In 2024, Clark County coroners in Nevada linked more than 500 deaths to the heat. And elsewhere, the U.S. is studying solutions to the heat that is going up in other cities as well. All right, Tori Smith here. We felt a little bit of heat today.
Yeah.
It felt warmer to me here.
Yeah, it's much warmer. We're roughly expecting 15 degrees above average by Sunday. So it's going to be
when
toasty.
Everybody will be running.
Yes, when everyone will be running. Those temperatures are currently into the 60s and mid-50s for Tri-Cities. It is a toasty Thursday, and we're expecting those temperatures to just rise here in the next couple of days. As for right now, it's currently 64 towards Moses Lake, 59 towards Connell, and about 57 as we head towards Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. We do have clear skies across the inland northwest for today. We're expecting that beautiful sky to continue as we head into your Friday as well. Temperatures overnight going to be into the mid 40s. That's 43 in Chewelah and about 45 as you head further south. Looking ahead, we've got an interesting setup that's going to help bring us some warmer temperatures. We have high pressure ridging starting to develop off the Canadian coast. We have low pressure down towards the California coast. This is actually called a Rex block, and all I want you to take away from that is we're going to be seeing some warmer temperatures move in along with some clear sunshine as we head into your weekend. Temperatures tomorrow are going to start to be above average. We're seeing those mid 70s for Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, getting into the 80s as we head towards Yakima into Moses Lake, and even upper 70s for Leavenworth. Missoula right about 74 degrees for that high tomorrow. Temperatures are only going to start to warm up from there. Saturday and Sunday, it's going to be into the 80s here in the LC Valley up to Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. If you're closer towards Moses Lake, even Tri-Cities and Yakima, seeing closer to 90 degrees by the time we get to your Sunday and into your Monday. We are tracking a couple of mountain showers, definitely possible for Saturday as well as Sunday. I'm really not anticipating much going on there, maybe a 10% chance of those mountain showers. And that trend will slowly start to dissipate when we lose that daytime heating. Here's about 5 a.m. for your Sunday. If you're waking up, getting ready to grab those running shoes, it is going to be just a beautiful sunny day. Something I do want to point out is there could be some slight instability in the atmosphere for Bloomsday. We'll get to that in just a second. I do want you to know that the high temperature is going to be 79 in Spokane, and we're going to be seeing mostly sunny skies across the area. 50 degrees is what you're going to be feeling when you get out the door for Bloomsday. Here's a couple of reminders. You're going to want to stay hydrated. Start fueling your body now and start drinking water right about now to prepare for this. As we head into Bloomsday, drink water consistently during the race with those warmer temperatures and watch for signs for heat-related injuries. Here's that instability we were talking about. We have what's called CAPE, and this is instability in the atmosphere by the time we get to Sunday afternoon. Now, I'm not thinking this is a shower-related thing. We just don't have the moisture content there. What we could see is possibly a lightning show by the time we get to Sunday evening. Those temperatures stay hot Monday and Tuesday, all the way through Wednesday for Coeur d'Alene, Tri-Cities, Yakima, and Tri-Cities, also getting into close to the 90s. So that's Look at Your Weather. Here's Heidi.
Wow, maybe some lightning Sunday, the big day. Thank you so much, Tori. Well, coming up, the Central Valley senior we're seeing here is showing off her throwing skills. Oh, and did we mention her personality? Coming up next in sports, you will meet this week's Student Athlete of the Week.
From the Northern Quest Sports Studio, this is SWX NonStop Local Sports.
First, we got exciting recruitment news for the Zags this week. Now, it's a schedule announcement, and this matchup coming up is one that's been fun to watch in recent history. The Zags playing the Blue Devils. That's right, Duke. The game will be in Detroit, however, on February 20th. This matchup has been close the last two times, by 3 points in 2021 and by 2 in 2018, Duke winning both of those games. Spring football camp for our local colleges will come to a close on Friday evening, and in Cheney, the Eastern Washington Eagles, they want to see who shows out when the lights are the brightest. The quarterback competition is still undecided. While a lot of the young guys have made big plays in the first two scrimmages of spring camp, head coach Aaron Best says this final scrimmage is all about seeing who steps up in a game-like atmosphere.
You get a little taste of what they're going to do in front of some fans in a situation where you put the ball down to play. But we're really not going to know some of these guys what they're all about or what their journey is going to become until August 29th and beyond. I mean, practice is practice. Some guys all of a sudden show up differently when they're actually keeping score. So I'm excited to be part of the journey, but a bunch of guys have taken huge strides this spring.
We'll get to see who shows out on Friday afternoon, a 5 o'clock start for the annual Red-White game. And the Vandals, their spring game, Friday afternoon as well, evening I should say. That'll start at 6. This week we head out to the track to see some field events and to meet this week's Student Athlete of the Week.
Central Valley senior Cora Donley throws shot put and discus for the Bears and placed at state last year while keeping up a 3.7 GPA.
Cora's very spunky and she brings a lot for everyone. I know that track is interesting because everyone kind of gets into their little bubbles of events, but she branches out and touches everyone, and we have a really young team this year, so we feel lucky that she's here because they look to her for leadership a lot. Her willingness to give things all she's got is really contagious, and I think the whole team benefits from her presence.
Cora started playing sports at age 3. At CV, she also plays slow pitch softball and cheers, but it's throwing she wants to do in college.
I like how it's an individual sport, but it's where everybody can come together. It doesn't matter your body type or what you're good at. Anybody can do anything.
She's also in National Honor Society, on ASB leadership, and plays the cello in orchestra. How does she have time for everything?
I don't do homework. I just try to manage all my stuff in school, and then outside of school is for the things I enjoy. So if I can't get it done in school, then I'll take 20 minutes.
The future PE teacher and coach has a unique perspective on what's important and how she wants to be remembered.
I feel like making people feel comfortable is more important than winning. I've been on more losing teams than I have winning teams, but if you have fun, that's what matters, right? You don't remember how many games I've won, just how many I've had fun playing.
AJ Howell, SWX.
The STEM Student Athlete of the Week is made possible thanks to ICCU.
Sharing the good, a Pasco man and his 7-year-old daughter are going above and beyond to take back what they can and continue to fight against pancreatic cancer. The American Cancer Society says that kills nearly 53,000 Americans each year. It's called Little Cups, Big Hearts, and it's more than just a place to get lemonade. Juan Solano is fighting stage 4 pancreatic cancer. He was diagnosed earlier this year, and his family has been rallying around him since then, especially daughter Manuela. She started Little Cups, Big Hearts to raise money for those fighting cancer like her father.
She wanted some control over what was happening, and she wanted to help. It gave my husband hope, it gave my children hope, and it gave us as a family something to unite and fight for.
And now an established nonprofit, Little Cups, Big Hearts, takes in hand-drawn logos and serves up drinks that are making strides in the Tri-Cities and beyond. Stands are even expanding all the way to Indiana, and all proceeds go toward pancreatic cancer research. Wow. Just wonderful what a 7-year-old can do, first to try to deal with her own situation, but then help others. All right, that does it for us. Have a great night, everybody.
Ashley, bringing you the content that connects our communities. You're watching